Welcome back, everybody, to Crawler Canyon's inaugural presentation of the Invitational. The Invitational is the near ultimate realization of the six-gate series in which everyone is involved. Gates will be chosen randomly and arrayed throughout the course. There are no handicaps. Everything won't occur on one day. And everybody goes against everybody. There will be thrills, chills, and spills. There will indeed be successes. And along with those successes, there are sure to be failures. And as this is a six-gate project, scoring is the same as it's always been. 7 points for a gate hit, 10 points for a rollover, 2 points for a reverse. There are no gate points, so a perfect run is a 0. So sit back and relax as Crawler Canyon presents the Invitational. And here we are once again. The fourth time is the last time for the placement round. Nothing has changed save for the competitors involved. We have our final field of 4. This is Group 4 of Round 1, composed of the Tranquish, the Vanimal, Zoidberg, and 0110110110111, and on. It doesn't have a name yet. But speaking of those names, we continue on our journey through the alphabet, stopping on T for a moment here with the Tranquish. For those unfamiliar, the Tranquish is, of course, a VS4-10 chassis mated with a Amazon 3-gear dig gearbox and the locking axles from a TRX4, because that's a thing that people do. The Tranquish is, therefore, the sum of his parts composes him to be a beefy boy. He is not overly wide. He is one of the more narrow rigs in the field, as you can see here how he passes through gate 2 quite effortlessly. His weight is relatively low, even for a portal vehicle. And aside from some transitional issues here, I think he does reasonably well here on his first go in the placement round. A little stuck there. The Landmines not really doing a tremendous job of transitioning. Tranquish has clearly been watching from the staging area and opts to take Daphne's far right line. Was it Daphne? I feel like it was Daphne. Daphne's far right line. We're gonna call it that. And it does indeed work. There seems to be a little socket that will help push him over a little easier. So Tranquish comes through. He threw in that one reverse. Better a reverse than hitting a gate. Ends his first run with a Daphne tying 2 points. And here we have another from the Rusty school, which is, that can't do that. How can that do that? Only this one's a lot louder. This is the Vanimal, a Carisma Prairie Wolf, running some little Class 1 landmines. So incidentally, we have back-to-back landmines. The Vanimal has a quiet drivetrain and a loud everything else, because that big box of a 70s van, it's a scraper. But he pulls through that, throwing almost as much attitude as Rusty did in Group 3. Maneuvers across the top. His ground clearance is not the greatest. I think he's on par with Rusty, even having a slightly taller tire. This is a proper Class 1 tire. But the body is deceptive because it doesn't actually weigh very much. So all of his weight is actually placed quite low. He's on straight axles, he's on Class 1s. He sits pretty low. His problem is he doesn't have an actual physical rear bumper. It's just a bumper molded into the body. And it can turn into a bit of an earth scoop at times. He's getting very lucky that it was just resting there on the ground. And the Landmines did well today. He's just trying to maneuver it and find a spot, and he cleared that outer gate no problem. So, besting the Tranquish before him, the Vanimal cleans the run, our first clean of the round, but perhaps not our last, because he is followed immediately by the spirit of the seahorse himself, Zoidberg. If 2.2 ruptures are part of the equation, the total is most likely to be 0. And then let's throw in LCG and four-wheel steer while we're at it. And what you would arrive at is Zoidberg. You'll notice a dramatic differential level in volume. For whatever reason, camera position A is turned down to 30%. Camera position B is at 200%. I still can't figure out how to change the volume on the microphones. We're going to get there. Zoidberg, if you blinked and missed it, Zoidberg just ran a clean run. Didn't even come close to anything. And now comes the wild card of this oddball round. 0-1-1-1-0-0-1-0-0-1. Now, obviously, this is a Ryft that just ran over gate 1. And the Ryft is a rock bouncer, despite the fact that it is fitted with a Castle censored 2400 kV. I think it's the 1512 motor. It's a plenty powerful motor, and it's got good low-speed control, but all of that electrical noise is coming from the motor speed control combo. It actually has a fairly quiet servo in it. And what it does not have is, like, I don't want to say fidelity, precision. What it does, it does not have precision. It is most certainly a blunt object. The tires are grippy enough, and the ground clearance is good enough, but it doesn't have the, park it in place. So it is a gate killer. Even with all that, and running into the camera, it only hit 2 gates for 14 points. I say only, because that's really not that bad for a rig that's 12 inches wide trying to go through 15-inch wide gates. So 0-1-1-1 is making an effort. This is how a rock bouncer is supposed to go about it, so I don't see an issue. It does like to kick tennis balls. Little pause here. There's a very small amount of trigger movement that lives between I'm going this fast and I'm a rocket. So somehow, may have clipped that marker, but it didn't look like it to me. And this would have actually been a proper clean, but outside tire, you're not allowed to straddle gates. So you might wonder why 0-1-1-1-0 just ran back-to-back 2 14-point runs, because for whatever reason, the Tranquish opted not to run again. I think he might be the first sandbagger of the competition. I think he's hoping to leverage that too. The Vanimal with a 0, Zoidberg with a 0, and 1-1-1-0-0-1-0 with a 14. So that's not terrible considering what a Ryft is. As at the end of the day, a Ryft is this. And it does remarkably well at this. Or also this. Just blast face first. It isn't quite as good as this. Zoidberg can even go slower than that. Zoidberg took, never... He didn't use any application of speed. That's the fastest he moved during his run. And he cleared all 3 gates in about 40 seconds. Meanwhile, the Ryft is more comfortable you know, blowing off steam after putting up a 14 and just cranking off the rocks and rolling out. And mind you, this vehicle has a 2-speed, and that's in first gear. So the fact that it can crawl at all is a testament to the Ryft. He's just up against some stiff competition. And speaking of competition, that draws a close to the placement round of the Invitational. And let's see where those placements fall. It's genuinely is more zeros than I had anticipated. Tranquish did indeed tie Daphne with another 2. We had 4 people hit a 7. We had 3 people not do so great, but mostly a big bunch of zeros at the top. So here's how they're going to get divvied up. There'll be 5 groups, A through E. Group A is composed of Argentum, Vanimal, and Zoidberg. Group B is Colonel Mustard, Ironsides, and Jolly Green. Group C is Lil Yella, the Tranquish, and Daphne. Group D is Blue Sky High, Misdirection, and Rusty. And we close it out with Group E, the Banana, Lil Fella, Gate Rover, and that Ryft, who are honestly fighting for survival, because we are ready to get into where the real gets really real. In round 2, a double elimination affair, back-to-back 6 gates with combined scores. This is 2-factor obliteration, and it's going to be rough. Some of these gate sections are unkind, and some of the guys, I'm not saying Group E, but some of the guys in Group E are in for some trouble, because there's a lot of guys out there that can put up zeros. So thanks for watching this one. It might be a couple days before another Invitational post comes up. We finished round 1. Round 2 is going to be a doozy, and I hope you're looking forward to it as much as I am. Thanks for watching. Comment below. Subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next one.